So if a part's slightly warped before T6 heat treat, is it still machinable? And if so, what are some options or routes that you go through? Sorry, I said Tim, like Jim to answer this. How do
Yeah,
you go about fixing that? And if it's not, how do you go about preventing that going forward?
yeah, it's a real good question actually, because Tim had mentioned about when you go to heat treat, you got to be careful because you do risk more of a warpage, or we've even paid for heat treating to go through a straightening process. If the casting's warped, it makes it to us. If it's a T6 part, it probably has to go back to the heat treater to be annealed, and then the straightness worked out, because you can't hardly move it once it's T6. I mean, you take the chance of cracking it.
Yeah.
If it's a T5, you can still bring that casting right back to form. But that's a good question, because T6, if it gets to us and it's twisted, then it either goes back to heat treat or it might be kicked out for a non-conformant part.
Well, I'm sure when you're mounting it up to the machine, there's ways around mounting a T6 and getting it into the shape that you want it to machine it. But ultimately, what you're going to see when you pull it off the machine is that part's going to flex back. And you may have got the machining right, but the part still isn't hitting the end function and features.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you get that flexing going on and clamping and whatnot, then you're just chasing your tail, because it's not going to meet the print. Obviously, if you clamp it and you think you got it all clamped up and machine's fine, when you release it, then it's just going to twang right out of spec.